Hi, I'm Holly Corcoran with Corcoran Business Advisory Services, and I'm glad that you have stopped over to take a look at our advanced tax planning. I know your time is valuable, so I want to provide as much information I can in a short period of time. I am a CPA in practice as a traditional compliance office since 1991, which I sold in 2024 and became the virtual firm that I am now, serving all types of veterinarians across the nation. And I've authored a book, The Vet Advisor. Are you running your business or is it running you? And I'm also an endurance horseback rider. So my questions to you are, is your taxable income over 300,000? Are you paying more than $50,000 in taxes? Is your current CPA providing good tax tips? And would you like to save as much as legally possible on your taxes? Which I'm sure the answer to that is probably yes. So I'd like to go through some tax studies, case studies, to just give you a general idea of the type of work that we do and see where you fit and how it would help you. We had a solo practitioner that had about $2 million of revenues, a small animal practice, filing a Schedule C, which is on the Form 1040. They had continually been behind the eight ball with taxes owing at the end of every tax filing about $60,000 a year, never really getting caught up. Their bookkeeping was a mess, and they had loans and fixed asset acquisitions that were missed. And this is very important because it was over several years, and it ultimately ended up helping them when we were able to go back. We changed them over from QuickBooks Desktop to online with a veterinary bookkeeper, changed the entity from a Schedule C to an S corporation, and put the owner on payroll, maximizing 401k contributions, which was a new plan that they needed to set up. And from there, we saved them about $50,000 a year. In about 1 year from the time that we implemented this plan, they were cleaned up with the IRS and flying straight with ahead of the game, taxes paid in through withholdings. We provided them monthly business advisory and quarterly tax planning services. They grew their practice to $3 million and sold in retirement. Case study number 2 is an equine practitioner in New York State filing with their spouse. They formed a family management company and hired their children. They maximized their 401k a little bit differently from the previous example where they were able to use profit sharing. So it allowed them to put about $70,000 away in retirement for the practice owner. We had some fixed asset additions that we used accelerated depreciation. They had a new building that had been placed in service, which was held in an LLC outside of the practice, but it was about a $500,000 building, and we ordered a cost segregation study, which ended up saving them a significant amount of money. So over here, you can see there is federal and state savings that add up to about just shy of 150,000. And these were the strategies that we employed with the depreciation, hiring their children, cost segregation study, and the maximizing retirement contribution. Again, about 150,000 broken down between the federal and the state. As you know, New York State has high income taxes. Our third case study here is a W-2 earner veterinarian with a spouse and 2 children residing in California. And again, another situation where we were able to maximize 401k because the spouse had thought that since they were not receiving a company match, they limited only to the amount of the company match and were not contributing the full amount. So we increased that contribution. We also suggested some oil and gas investments and some charitable contributions. The oil and gas, actually, the investment would provide about a 20% annual ROI in addition to the immediate tax savings in the initial year. And it equated to about $186,000, $187,000 in tax savings at both the federal and the state level. And again, we know also that California has very high state taxes. So these are just a few examples. And what we do is we provide a tax assessment after having an initial discovery meeting. We talk to you about providing a tax assessment. And then from there, we see if this assessment makes sense to you, then we go on to an annual plan. And there's a lot that's involved in creating these annual plans, and we have step-by-step processes that we provide to make sure that we are in compliance with all IRS regulations, and that if you were to get audited for any reason, that we have the documentation to verify the deductions. And we make sure that we have the private letter rulings and all of the background information to make sure that you are covered as a taxpayer. So I wanted to thank you. This is a very quick introduction of the services that we provide. But if you're interested a little bit further to see how we can help you save taxes in your unique situation, please click the link and answer a brief questionnaire, and then we may be able to set up a complimentary discovery meeting. Thank you so much and have a great day.